In the small town of Ashwood, Ohio, Evelyn Carter lived a life no one noticed. At 52, she worked the night shift at the public library, quietly shelving books long after the town had gone to sleep. She wore plain clothes, drove an aging car, and spoke only when necessary. People assumed she had lived an ordinary life. They were wrong. 20 years earlier, Evelyn had been a fearless investigative journalist in Chicago. She exposed corruption wherever she found it until she tried to expose the wrong man. Richard Hale. Richard Hale was a powerful real estate tycoon with political protection and a flawless public image. When Evelyn uncovered evidence linking him to illegal evictions, arson schemes, and bribery, she believed the truth would protect her. Instead, it destroyed her. Her stories were buried. False accusations were planted against her. Her editor fired her. Threats followed. One night, her apartment burned down and was labeled an accident. Her marriage collapsed. Her career died. Richard Hale walked free. Evelyn disappeared. Evelyn didn't vanish because she was defeated. She vanished because she was learning. She moved quietly from city to city, taking ordinary jobs while living an extraordinary double life. She studied law, finance, and corporate crime. She read court records at night and learned how powerful men hid their sins behind charities and shell companies. She didn't rush. Revenge, she learned, required patience. Years later, Richard Hale announced his run for the U.S. Senate. Evelyn knew the moment had arrived. She created a new identity online, a freelance political researcher. Slowly, carefully, she entered the world surrounding Hale. She contacted former employees, frightened witnesses, and forgotten victims. Some were silent. Some were angry. Some were ready to talk. Evelyn listened. Evidence came together piece by piece: fake charities, bribed judges, witness intimidation, a warehouse fire that killed undocumented workers. Evelyn documented everything: dates, emails, bank transfers. She didn't leak anything yet. A hunter never strikes too early. The first move was small. An anonymous tip led federal auditors to one of Hale's charities. The media called it minor irregularities. Richard Hale smiled confidently on camera. But behind the scenes, panic began. Evelyn watched silently. She had waited 20 years. She could wait longer. Claire Dawson, Hale's former assistant, finally broke. She had signed NDAs, taken hush money, stayed silent for 12 years. Until Evelyn found her. Claire handed over emails and recordings, proof of bribery and obstruction of justice. This was no longer revenge. This was collapse. Threats returned. Late-night phone calls. Messages. Warnings. Evelyn activated her final safeguard encrypted files set to release automatically if anything happened to her. Fear shifted sides. For the first time, the powerful were afraid. Evelyn sent the full evidence package to federal prosecutors, a major investigative newsroom, a global digital archive. The story exploded. Richard Hale's empire began to fall. Allies disappeared. Politicians erased photos. Donors vanished. Hale resigned. Then he hid. But truth followed him. The courtroom was packed. Evelyn testified calmly, not as a victim, but as an expert. Her voice was steady. Her facts were undeniable. When the verdict came guilty on all counts, the room erupted. Evelyn walked out without smiling. Justice wasn't a celebration. It was closure. Fame returned, but Evelyn refused it. She knew the cost of visibility. Instead, she created a foundation quietly helping women destroyed for speaking against powerful men. Legal support, financial aid, protection. The media called it dangerous. Evelyn called it necessary. Senator Thomas Klein publicly attacked her foundation, calling it a threat to national stability. Evelyn didn't respond publicly. She opened files. History repeated itself. This time, Evelyn moved slower. Donations, shell companies, offshore accounts. The pattern was familiar. Klein was no cleaner than Hale. Evelyn's estranged son, Daniel, confronted her. "You destroyed my childhood," he said. She didn't defend herself. Some sacrifices could not be explained, only understood with time. That night, she cried. Then she stood up again. Articles dropped one by one. Investigations followed. Senator Klein's career ended in disgrace. Evelyn released everything at once. No warnings. No mercy. Violence threatened again. A warning gunshot outside her home. Evelyn activated her last plan. If she fell, 10 more truths would rise. But she didn't fall. She walked away. Evelyn handed her foundation to the next generation. She bought a small house near the sea. No interviews. No spotlight. Only books, wind, and silence. Years later, a young journalist asked her, "Were you ever afraid?" Evelyn smiled. Yes. But fear doesn't mean stop. It means move carefully. Final chapter, The Quiet Fire. Evelyn wrote one last line in her journal: "They tried to bury me. They didn't know I was fire." And closed the book. Subscribe please.